Hi, I'm Ron, and this is my girlfriend Molly. One day, we were hanging out in a cafe when a ripped guy came up to us. "Thomas, what are you doing here?" It might be hard to believe, but that mountain of muscles was my brother. Yeah, I know we don't look alike. Thomas was studying in Europe, so his appearance surprised me a lot. "I came here for the summer holidays." Thomas looked at Molly and smirked. I knew that look very well. It brought back some memories. When we were kids, my brother and I did everything together. Rode bikes, played computer games, and even pranked the teachers. "To the principal's office, both of you!" Of course, we also got punished together, but even that was fun. However, in high school, we fell in love with the same girl. My best friend became my rival. We got each other into trouble and competed for her attention. In the end, the girl chose Thomas. We had a fight, and ever since then, things got ugly between us. No matter what I did, Thomas was always one step ahead. "You're screwed again, brother." Now he was staring at Molly like he was going to steal her. She was beautiful. He really could be interested in her, although he had most likely just decided to beat me again. "I'd like a Coke, and bring this doll the most expensive dish you have." What did I tell you? Thomas was already hitting on her. Molly is on a diet and only eats vegetable salads. "Actually, I can make an exception. I've been wanting to try a lobster risotto for a long time." Thomas smiled smugly, and I wanted to strangle him. I asked Molly over after the cafe, but Thomas got in the way again. "You shouldn't sit at home when the weather's so nice. Let's go to the beach. My friend owns a yacht club." I refused, but Molly immediately started whining. "I really want to go sailing." "Okay, let's go." At first, we did just that. But then Thomas started water skiing. He did cool tricks and Molly was thrilled. "I want to do that too." "I can't swim, so I can't teach you." Thomas came back on deck and smiled slyly. "Wow, baby Ron is still afraid of water." "Don't worry, Molly. You can ski with me." Ugh. While they were skiing, Thomas held her by the waist. Molly looked happy, and I could only watch them from the side and grit my teeth. In the evening, our parents cooked a fancy dinner to welcome Thomas home. It turned out that aside from studying, he had also started a business and opened a small gym. Dad had been sending him money to help. "We are so proud of you. Ron, you should be more like your brother." I just rolled my eyes. Not that again. I was studying at the College of Art to become a designer. My parents disapproved of my choice and kept comparing me to Thomas. "My friend is coming here for the holidays. We met in Europe, but used to live here too. We came up with a cool idea. We want to rent an area and set up a gym outside." "Son, this is a great plan. Good thinking." My parents started praising Thomas again, and I could only yawn. After dinner, Thomas caught up with me in the corridor and grinned nastily. "Molly will soon dump you. You'll always lose to me, dear brother." Thomas was a man of his word. He started chatting up Molly, and one day, we were sitting at her place when a courier rang the doorbell. "A boutique for Molly Gold." "Wow, it's gorgeous. It says here it's from Thomas." That jerk. It had taken him a long time to find out her address. He was sending gifts to my girlfriend, but that was just the beginning. Soon enough, Thomas decided to humiliate me. Molly and I were taking a walk in the park one day when, all of a sudden, he ran up to me from behind and put a giant spider on my shoulder. "No, get it off me! You're screeching like a girl." "Idiot, you know I have arachnophobia." Thomas was dying with laughter. Molly was laughing right along with him. "Sorry, baby Ron. You have so many phobias that I can't remember them all." Molly and I were sitting in my room when the door suddenly opened, and Thomas came in with a catalog. He flopped down on the bed and showed it to Molly. "Look at these bikinis. It's a new collection. I think this one will look awesome on you." "It's really cool, Ron. Will you buy it for me?" Thomas looked at me smugly. He knew I couldn't afford it. I leafed through the catalog and suggested we buy something cheaper. We went to the store and Thomas joined us. Once we were there, he suddenly grabbed Molly by the hand and handed her the bikini she liked. "That one sucks. Try this one on." She started spinning in front of the mirror and admiring her reflection. It's like it was made for me. Can you guess what happened next? Thomas bought her a gift again. Molly was so grateful she even kissed him on the cheek. One day, we were hanging out at our house, and Molly said she wanted to become a bit fitter. Thomas heard and, of course, immediately broke in. He started bragging about the summer gym he was going to open. I could train you if you want. Cool. Ron absolutely refuses to go to the gym. He doesn't like sports at all. The next day, Thomas started training her. There was outdoor exercise equipment by the beach, and they were there all the time. You spend more time with Thomas than me. Don't be jealous. There's nothing between us. We're just working out. One evening, I came to the beach and saw Thomas teaching Molly how to squat properly. He was holding her by the hips. Nothing between us, huh? Get your hands off her! I pounced on my brother, but he easily stopped me and laughed. I always beat you, remember? I tore myself free from his grasp and looked at Molly. Choose him or me. Molly looked from me to Thomas and answered without hesitation. I choose Thomas. Yeah, no kidding. Girls always chose him. Never since high school. There was no point in staying there. I abruptly turned around and left. I'm finally free of her. Let's pause here for a second. You're probably confused about what just happened. Let me explain. To begin with, let's go back to the moment where Molly and I were sitting in a cafe. What is this? I asked for a caramel latte, not mint syrup. Sorry, but you did ask for mint. Are you really going to argue with me? I wanted to strangle her. Not the waitress, of course, but Molly. I was so sick of her tantrums. She made scenes everywhere we went. Molly was insufferable. They brought her a caramel latte and she finally calmed down. A couple of minutes after that, Thomas walked into the cafe. I bet you don't understand why it took me so long to dump Molly. The reason is our parents. Our fathers worked together. Her dad, Mr. Brooke, was my dad's boss. Molly was used to boys pandering at her every whim. I was the only one who ignored her. That was probably why she noticed me. She started following me around everywhere. One day, my dad found out about it and demanded I date her. What if she complains to her father? Have you thought about that? I'm going to have serious problems at work. If things go well, we could become a family with Mr. Brooke himself. I resisted for a long time. Dating that crazy girl didn't seem like a good idea. But my parents put a lot of pressure on me and I gave in. However, when Thomas showed up, I knew it was my chance. He started hitting on Molly and I played along. It was so hard not to give myself away. I wanted Molly to be the one to dump me. I'd actually learned to swim and gotten over my fear of spiders a long time ago. I even had some savings and could have bought that damn bikini. When Molly broke up with me, I breathed a sigh of relief. In the next few days, Thomas looked happy and constantly made fun of me. I told you I'm better at you than everything. But after a week, he turned gloomy. One day, my brother came up to me and asked for something. Help me get rid of Molly. On the one hand, it was quite sudden. But on the other hand, I suspected that sooner or later, he would grow sick of her. What happened? You wanted to be with her so much. She's unbearable. At first, everything was fine, but then, one day, they went to the cinema. Molly didn't want to stand in line for the tickets and caused a scene. She made not just the staff, but also the other visitors mad. Do you know who my father is? I shouldn't be standing in a line like this like I'm underclass. Thomas grabbed her elbow and pulled her aside. Why are you acting like this? If you don't want to stand in line, then we won't go to the movies. They left and Molly took her anger out on Thomas. She was constantly asking him for money and throwing tantrums over nothing. In a long story short, she treated him the same way she used to treat me. Soon enough, Thomas was at his wit's end. You're spoiled and crazy. We're done. Oh, he chose the wrong moment to do that. Mr. Brooke overheard their conversation. How dare you talk to my daughter like this? Our dad now had problems at work because of it. He demanded Thomas apologize to Molly. Thomas had no choice but to do as he said. I don't know what to do. I can't spend the rest of the holidays with her. At first, I gloated. It served my brother right. But then, I felt sorry for him. I knew what he was going through, so I understood him well. I told him what dating Molly had been like for me. Okay, let's team up. I'll help you. I had a couple of ideas. Thomas always took great care of himself and wore expensive clothes. What if he changed his look? I found some old clothes and ruined them. I used all my imagination and turned them into something ugly. Then we found a bright hat and old shoes for him to wear. Do I look ridiculous enough? It's perfect. Now, go on your date. I went with him. I wanted to see how it would go. As expected, Molly was horrified. What on earth are you wearing? Go and put something else on right now. Ron came up with this style for me. I liked it so much that I threw away all my other clothes. Now, I will only look like this. Molly looked at him with disgust. That's exactly what we were counting on. However, things didn't go according to plan after that. She brought him to a boutique to buy normal clothes. While he was in the fitting room, she threw out his awful clothes. It might be hard to believe, but Molly even paid for his purchases. We decided to try a different approach. Thomas used to rent an expensive car, but then he said he can no longer afford it. Let's ride scooters. I was sure she would dump him then, but Molly surprised me again. Scooters? Let's do it. It will keep me in shape. Then, Thomas started to bring her to cheap hole-in-the-wall instead of expensive restaurants. But for some reason, Molly didn't mind. It's actually fun here. Thomas and I were sitting at home one day and discussing her strange behavior. It feels like the worse I act, the clingier she becomes. I didn't understand anything either. Maybe Molly really had fallen in love with him. Why would she tolerate all that otherwise? We came up with a new plan. Thomas told Molly he felt guilty about the way he treated me. Ron doesn't have a girlfriend anymore, and it's my fault. I want to help him find a new love. Maybe you have a single friend? We should go on a double date. Molly agreed. If only she knew what we were planning. First of all, we were very late and made the girls wait. Then we acted like idiots the whole date. We made dumb jokes and talked about all sorts of nonsense. When it was time to pay, Thomas said he had run out of money. I showed them my empty pockets as well. We humiliated Molly in front of her friend as best we could. In the end, she couldn't stand it any longer. Both of you are jerks. She paid and left with her friend. Thomas and I were very happy. Molly would definitely not get over that. The next day, Thomas's friend he had told us about arrived. His name was Jake. We finished preparing the outdoor gym. It was very hot that afternoon, and Jake went to the beach bar to get cold cocktails. Thomas and I were setting up the last of the equipment when suddenly we saw Molly. I've been thinking about yesterday. Thomas, I'll give you another chance. We looked at each other in horror. Damn it! Had our plan failed again? All of a sudden, Molly's face changed. At the same moment, we heard something shatter behind us. I turned around and saw Jake. He was standing there, frozen. Jake? Is that you? You traitor! I hate you! Jake tried to come up to her, but Molly pushed him away and burst into tears. Do you two know each other? The sight of Molly crying shocked me. I never thought she could cry. She wiped away her tears and glared at us. Do we know each other? A few years ago, we studied at the same class and dated in secret. We were going to get married right after school, but one day, Jake texted me that he wanted to break up. I didn't believe it at first, but then I accidentally saw him with another girl. He was hugging her and telling her he loved her. Jake transferred to another school. After a while, I heard rumors that they'd left for Europe. I realized that being nice and kind was stupid. If you don't want to get hurt, you should hit first. Now I realized why Molly always acted so insufferable and selfish. I even felt sorry for her. But then something unexpected happened. That wasn't what happened. He told his version of those events. One day, Molly's father saw us together. He told his people to follow us around and find out about the wedding we were planning. My family was poor, and he thought I wasn't a good match for his daughter. He threatened me and said that I would be in a world of trouble if I didn't break up with Molly, but I didn't listen. Then Mr. Brooks started threatening my parents. He made things difficult for them. It was a terrible mess. Mr. Brooks made me send you that text. I had to do it for my parents' sake. Then he made sure I got expelled from our prestigious school. I tried to lie low and then left for Europe. When I got there, I tried calling and texting Molly to explain everything, but she had blocked me everywhere. Molly looked shocked. I didn't know my father had done that. But what about the girl you were hugging? That was my cousin. Her boyfriend had broken up with her, and I was just comforting her. Listen, Molly, I never forgot about you. Molly started crying again. I love you too. I even agreed to go to cheap joints and ride scooters with Thomas because it reminded us of our school years. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Molly wasn't so bad after all. It was all her father's fault. Speaking of whom, Mr. Brooke pressured our parents as well. I'm sorry, but that was the only reason we dated. He probably thought our family was a good match for you, or he didn't think we would end up marrying. Soon, Jake and Molly started dating again. A couple of weeks after that, they got married despite Mr. Brooks. Thomas and I came to the wedding. Our relationship improved. We turned from rivals into friends again. But that wasn't the end of it. Things were even more complicated. When we came back home after the wedding, we were met by our angry father. "What have you done, you idiots?" Thomas and I looked at each other. What was he talking about? I have serious problems at work with money. Mr. Brooks' business, however, is booming. That's why I wanted one of you two idiots to marry Molly. It had to be done quickly. Mr. Brooks is terminally ill. He doesn't have much time left. His daughter would get all his money. If you had married her, our financial situation would have improved immediately. And now, we're finished. I don't have any money to pay for your college, Ron, or your business, Thomas. I thought nothing would surprise me after Molly's story, but Dad certainly did it. Now Thomas and I don't know what to do next. What would you do? Write in the comments down below.